You know, it's got to be a team effort. You know, I could say something funny or clever, which I rarely do, but no, one person's not going to stop them. One defense is not going to stop them. You know, we've got to do a good job collectively of making sure, you know, we're smart in our rush lanes. We're smart with how we rush. You know, with all our assignments on, you know, all the read options and. But no, it's a challenge. I mean, when you have a really gifted player, you know, that person can change the outcome of a game. He can change the emotions within the stadium. You know, he can lift a team. So, no, we've got a big challenge in trying to figure out how to just, you know, he's going to make plays, and we've got to do it as good a job of trying to limit, you know, the big ones and respond when he does make plays.
This type of player can be frustrating in that you do everything right and can still make something happen. How do you, I guess, go into one of these games knowing a few of those plays are going to happen and you've got to play the next play?
Yeah, I think like any game that we're going to play is that you have to control your emotions and you have to control the ebb and flow of good plays and bad plays and good drives and bad drives. And you could, like you said, you could be in the perfect position, you could have the perfect play call, you could do everything that you were coached to do, and he can make a guy miss, he can make a miraculous throw, he can do, you know, you sort of tip your hat and you go on to the next one. And you've got to have that, you know, dominant pitchers give up home runs. Like it happens, but you got to come back and try to be dominant again. So.
Brent, what did you see from the defensive line, and what's kind of your message been to them on how to improve their play this week?
Yeah, you know, I think it's about consistency. I thought, you know, at times I thought we were really stout against the run last week, and you know, we gave up. You know, we really gave up 2 runs. You know, one was on a poor check, and you know, our guys, you know, should be able to handle that, and they know they should. The second was, you know, we didn't make the trip, you know, in terms of on one of our stunts. We'll get that cleaned up. You know, we work it a lot. We just got to be able to execute, you know, when we're tired, and but you know, we'll get it.
You're pretty critical of those edges. When you watch the film on Keaton, how did he hold up, particularly as a true freshman?
Yeah, I thought for the most part he did a nice job. You know, I thought him and Alex both did a good job out there, you know, to the field and triggering when they needed to. They played with good eye discipline, and you know, they didn't have you know, a ton of run action where they had to be real violent edges, so I think that's still yet to be determined. But again, I think it's a good start. It was a good place for them to get their feet wet. They performed admirably, but plenty of correction things that we could do from a technical standpoint, from an understanding standpoint. Again, eye discipline and all, but again, pleased with it as a starting point, but not, you know, where we need to be, you know, as this season progresses.
Conceptually, are you constrained by what you can call with those younger guys on the field?
Not really. They understand if I'm going to put them on the field, they got to be able to execute the defense. Now, to say that it doesn't have any impact would probably be wrong. You know, you can't just give them, you know, expect them to jump into, you know, football 404. They're still working through, you know, 101, 202, 303. But they've done a good job adjusting, and they know that we're not going to constrain and hold back this defense just because they're young. So they got to get it, or you know, we'll find somebody that will.
Did you expect Deion Walker to be as much matured mentally and physically as he is right now, and at this particular point? And if that is the case, how's that help in a case like that?
Yeah, you know, I think we've talked about it before. I think just physically he's probably more developed than, you know, most freshman D-line would be at this point. And I think he works hard at it. You know, mentally he's in a good spot, but he's still a freshman, just like Keaton, just like Alex, you know, who plays in the staff. Those three that they're still learning the true speed and pace of the game. They're learning, what it feels like to play a drive and play a series that I used to be a two-way player in high school. Yeah, well, one way in college is more than two ways in high school. And so to feel the strain and the stress of that, and then to be able to go back into the meeting room and see that how your play and your position can influence 10 other people. And if you don't get to where you need to get to, the strain that it puts on different levels and within the structure of the defense. And so I think they, having a game that they can go back, we've had practices, but it's just different, and to feel that on the sideline if you made a mistake and you have to sit there on the bench next to the guys. The nice thing is we have a mature bench and mature defense that, they're uplifting and they're encouraging. There's no finger pointing. We just get it done. I was proud of the guys after that first drive that there was no panic on the sideline. Hey, let's get this thing fixed. And I thought they did a nice job as the game wore on, in terms of, getting the problems fixed from the first drive, settling in and playing.
How do you think Alex played in the first one and overall? And at his position, is it, even though you said it's a team effort and collective kind of against this kind of quarterback, is he kind of magnified?
Yeah, I thought he did a good job in the game. Like I said, he probably played more snaps than maybe I had anticipated, which was great. Like he to get whatever he got, 40 or 42 snaps, something like that, in your very first game as a true freshman. I think that helps. That's only going to help him as the season goes along. So it gave us more data points to make corrections on. But there were also a lot of positive plays in there that he can build on and say, hey, listen, you are built for this, and you're good enough to to be a player in the SEC as a true freshman. And so I think he's done a really good job of pouring in time and effort into being the best version of himself at this point that he can be. But he's going to have to continue to elevate that game, as the games get bigger, the speed gets faster, the collisions get more violent, but we need him to, he can be a presence for us. Really, they really run the ball well. I think the thing that jumped off on film to me maybe the most of anything is the difference in the O-line. Like I just feel like the O-line, you feel them. They're physical. They move people off the ball, and they're big, but they move well. They've really sort of embraced this offensive scheme, and all three backs are talented. So we've got our work cut out for us, because then you throw in Richardson and into that Q run. So you've got a physical running game, you add in a quarterback play, and then you've got speed and talent on the outside edges. So yeah, it's going to be, everybody knows it's going to be a challenge, and we got to play.
Okay, folks, thank you very much.